Okay, where were we? Okay. Now notice I haven't been saving this document because it saves automatically. Okay, so notice it's also giving me a circle. Sometimes it does that. What can I tell you? Now, we're moving from style to sections. That's the other thing you need to know about for our purposes. Okay. And here's why. Numbering, page numbering, and headers and footers. Now, this is the dedication. Now, notice that these are all in the text format, the text style, I should say. Okay, so now let's get to the meat of the thing. We put on reveal code. Okay, now what I want to do here, this is something you're going to have to know how to do. Okay, this is creating section breaks. Now, just as the style defines paragraph, the word sections define a group of paragraphs. Okay. And the reason that's important is when you have a complicated document such as this, where you have a cover, you have the copyright notice, you have the dedication, you have possibly a table of contents, you may have a trigger warning, whatever you have, then you get to the text. You want to have the text start on page 1. And the way to do that is to say, start, this may be the 10th page in the document, but it is the first page of a new section, and therefore start this section with number 1. Okay, and you'll see how that plays out. But the first thing I want to do is focus on section breaks. Okay, here's where they are. Layout, pretty straightforward. Layout breaks, next page. Okay, now you see this is return here. Okay, now if I use headers for my page numbering. Okay, so this is the first page of this section. Okay, and you can see here the code will say section break next page. It's different from a page break. To some extent, it is the same as a page break, with the key exception that you do not have the ability to start renumbering the section. Now you may say, well, I don't care about renumbering later, and you don't, perhaps, we'll get to that, but you do want renumbering between the front end stuff and the manuscript. So you have to have a section break for next page, and here's why, okay? Now I mentioned headers where the numbers go. I'm going to do this in a raw manner right now, and then as we go forward, we're going to modify it significantly. But for now, I just want to show you the basics of a header, okay? You just double click in this area up here, okay? And now I'm in this header. It's a little narrow header. I want to put a number in. And when I go to the header, when I put the cursor in the header, you will see this bunch of stuff. And what I care about is this one, page number. Okay, add page number, current position, boom. Okay, now I got it there. Okay, now this is the default characteristics of the normal, which we know is this, but I don't want that. I want it to be Times New Roman. I want it to be 12, boom. Where do I want it? Well, this is still tricky. Okay. We want it to be where it is based upon what page it is. Okay. Before I do that, notice this is page 3. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do is, because I came out of there, where is it? Layout. I'm sorry, I lost my page number. Okay. It's an insert, page number. What I want to do is format the page number. And what that I mean is the key thing for formatting your page number is this thing right here. continue from previous section, start at, this is where you want to start it at 1. Change the page number. I had that earlier pages, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then for the rest of the document, 1, 2 for the rest of the way. Now, what else can you do with the formatting? Well, here's what the other thing you can do. You can format it to be a lowercase Roman number, okay? So that's 1, that's 2. Oh, it starts again, and I've already told it when you start for this section, section 2, it's going to be an Arabic number beginning at 1, okay? So now my document looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. That's how you're going to number your pages. Now, it looks pretty lousy, okay? This is another tricky thing. And I wanted to show you side by side, okay? Forget this part, okay? This is page 1. Well, this is page 1. This is page 2. This is page 3, etc. Okay? Now, I want to have 3 styles. From this point on, I want 3 styles as follows. I want an even page style, an odd page style, and a first page style. The last thing is the first page of the section will look different from the rest of the document. I mean, the rest of the section. How to do that? We go back to layout, go to page setup. This is what this thing is built for, okay? I want this thing being Word. I want the layout. I want it for the whole document. And here's what I want it to do. I want different odd and even pages, and I want a different first page, okay? Okay. Now, what you see here, let's take a look. You can see this is the odd page header. Number 3. This is the even page header. There's no number there. This is the first page header. There's no number there. So here's where you see there's 5. That's an even page header. So here's what you need to do. I'm going to put it back close up, get into the header. Now, even pages are on the right margin, the right side. So I want this number to be on the right side. Okay. However, I also want, and this is complicated too, and it takes a little trial and error, but let's work with it here. What I want to do is I want to have centered here the title of the work, and on the right margin, the page number. How do I do that? This is now the even. Remember, we went to layout, we said different even, different odd. This is the odd page number. So this will only apply to the odd pages. So what I want to do is, first of all, I need to set up the tabs, okay? Let me clear all these tabs. Now, remember, right now it is a 1-inch margin left and a 1-inch margin right. That will change down the road. So, because you're gonna make the inside margin different from the outside margin. And you're gonna have to do a slight calculation at the end for your tab sets. That's pretty advanced. We won't get to that quite yet. We will get to that later. But what I want to do right now is very basic. I have a page that is 6 inches wide, that has a 1-inch left margin and a 1-inch right margin, which means that the text is 4 inches wide, which makes life somewhat easy because I've clear all the margin and I want to tab at 2 and I want it centered and I hit set. If you don't hit set, it doesn't count. Then I want it at 4. I want it right. I want to set it. Okay. Now, this is actually pretty cool. You hit tab. I'm in the center. Let me type the name. Forgetting the accent. Okay, and then tab. And to make it look really cool, what you want to do is there's a key here just below the backspace. Hit return. Hit shift. Boom, boom, boom. come out. When I click in the text, you see I'm out of there. That's what my header is going to look like. So let's take a look. That's my odd number. Now, you got to admit, that looks pretty cool. This is really what elevates it. Now you say, well, what about the even numbers? Well, you do the exact same thing. I can do it in miniature here. Okay. Just to get the page number in, current position, boom. I'll make sure the font is right. But here, now I want the number on the left margin, okay, but I need to center, doing the exact same thing I did before, which is go in and tabs, and these are just the tabs for this header, the even page header, okay? It's the exact same dynamic. I don't need a right header. I mean, I don't need the right because the numbers on the left. So all I need to do is this, okay? So here's my number. I put 2 spaces. I hit that little vertical line, boom, and I click it. And I put all caps and I type my name, the author's name. And there, my friends, we have the headers for the rest of the document, okay? Continues on and on and on. So the whole document now, I've set up my header. Now this look, obviously I got an issue here. I have an issue with the font. So again, you do exactly the same thing, okay? This font is going to be the old school font. It's not a problem. So here, Times New Roman, 12, boom. Now, what you say, what about the first paragraph, first page? I don't want a header on the first page, okay? This is perfect, okay? That's all I need to do. This document, we haven't done that much, but this document is in really good shape. There's one other thing, very easy to do, that is, which is huge, okay? It's very simple. Remember I mentioned before that you could set up your heading 1 so that it had a page break before, but I also said a page break is not a section break. So what I want to do is put a section break before. Layout, break, next page, section break, boom. Now there's a return there, right where the cursor is blinking. So I get rid of that. I get rid of, well, however I want it. Now, let me get rid of that manual too. Okay, now you say, well, why would I want to do that? Okay, I want to do it because now it looks really cool. Okay, it doesn't, the chapter begins without anything in the header, but you will say, this is page 2. This is the last thing you need to do. And once you do it here, you don't have to worry about it again because this formatting thing will be taken care of. And that's as follows, okay? Page number, remember, format page number, start. No, this time I wanted to continue, okay? I wanted it to start again because when I went from the front end stuff to the text, but from the rest of the way, I want it to be 6, so obviously I want it to be, okay, so let's go to the next chapter. Whoa, you say, this is what I was talking about. This is your heading 1. Let's get rid of the extraneous text. Here's all you need to do. You can see right now it just continues for the rest of the duration. The rest of the document, it continues. But here, boom, boom. Okay, here's how you do it. And you can do this in the 2-page review screen, by the way. You go layout, break, next page, get rid of, there's usually a return there. Let's take a look to make sure it's lined up. And remember, you can set this up. Hold on, let's see this. Oh, it didn't take that time. Okay. Remember, you can, okay, let me just show you this first. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, for the rest of this document, I'll do it once more. You'll see what's going to happen. Next page. Boom, there's a return there. Just delete that return. You've now basically done everything you need to do for the text of this document, right? Now, you may think you may like your paragraph to be the chapter number to be a little lower. Easy enough, just highlight it, make it lower. I mean, I don't like it this low, but then once you do that, you simply go to home, style, exactly what we did before, which is hit update it, boom, and you can see things move there because I've changed it and it moved it down. I don't particularly like that look. Again, this is all up to you. Get here, you say, okay, boom, drop the cap. This is now your document. This basically is what you need to make your document look. You know, I say I copy this to a PDF and it's ready to go. I mean, I've changed this stuff, obviously, but for the most part, I've now done it. One last thing while I'm here, if I watch what happens if I do this, drop. It's all screwy. Okay, why? It's working off of the quotation mark. When you begin a paragraph, begin a chapter with a quotation mark, you have to kind of futz with it. You have to delete the quotation mark, download it. I mean, do the drop cap. You get the Y, then put the quotation mark back, and you're in business. And as you can see, this document basically is set up for the rest of the way. You look at it, you say, well, it's a little screwy. I want to change the margins. Obviously, the bottom margin, you probably want to reduce the bottom margin for the whole document. Always make sure you go to the whole document, so to look better. Okay, and that's all we're going to do for now. The next thing we're going to do is talk about how we're going to do the right and left margins to make it look better or work better for publishing. That's it for now.